What happens to this action potential during atrial fibrillation? The effective refractory period is shortened because of increased cholinergic activity, parasympathetic activation. There is heterogeneity in repolarization between differentials within the right atrium and between the right and the left atrium. Means there is a functional conduction block resulting in micro re-entry and atrial fibrillation persistent. So what happens? This physiological substrate or a trigger changes to a anatomical substrate in the long term depending on the duration, frequency and duration of the atrial fibrillation. This is related to the autonomic nervous system, creates a substrate by increasing the LA volume, increase the diameter, volume, lessens the ejection fraction, that is the atrial myopathy, which means there are structural, architectural, electrophysiological changes of the atrium, that is more of left atrium, but it also involves the right atrium, resulting in fat and fibrous replacement of the atrial myocyte. So, I am repeating it, this is the atrial substrate. Here you can see the first paroxysm and the second paroxysm widely spaced, then paroxysm become more frequent, they persist for longer and they persist for long and become permanent. So, what happens between this paroxysm to permanent atrial fibrillation? They change from trigger based to substrate based. So, formation of the substrate is taken care of by autonomic dysfunction. So, autonomic dysfunction causes structural remodeling. Initially, there is only functional or electrical remodeling because of increased adrenergic activity being more excitable, less increased cholinergic activity resulting in shorter effective refractory period. So, these are the efferent autonomic cardiac innervation resulting in the increased adrenergic cholinergic activity, which are electrical triggers for atrial fibrillation. So, what happens because of these electrical triggers? Automaticity is increased, there is micro re-entry, early and more commonly delayed after depolarization because of calcium overload and ryanodine receptor dysfunction resulting in episodes of atrial fibrillation. Later, structural changes because of persistent autonomic remodeling resulting in fat and fibrous tissue deposition in the atrial myocardium, resulting in prompting risk factors. So, followed by later, this is afferent autonomic cardiac innervation resulting in AFib associated autonomic dysfunction as a baroreceptor dysregulation because of cardiopulmonary low pressure baroreceptor or arterial high pressure baroreceptor resulting in atrial fibrillation persistence. So, this is why we call AFib begets AFib. What happens? Initial efferent autonomic triggers without anatomical changes followed by autonomic related remodeling resulting in dysregulation resulting in LA dilatation followed by fibrous and fatty tissue deposition resulting in permanent atrial fibrillation. So, this is a basis for treating all modifiable risk factors, changing lifestyle, reducing AFib burden, reverting to sinus rhythm early as possible.